Hey everybody, and welcome to a brand new installment of Nintendo News Report for Thursday, August 27th, 2015. I'm your host, Alexander Kloffy, and today, as mostly usual, I am joined by one Donald Terrio.
A lot of news this week, and then there's going to be some breaking at 1 a.m. my time. That'll be fun.
Is there news that you know about that I don't?
We know we're anticipating a few reveals out of the PAX Indie Festival because they have, we know of 13 games. They're promising 19.
Okay, and do we know if any of them are going to be actually that interesting to everyone, rather than the 100,000 market base that is the indie game audience?
I know I'm kind of interested in seeing how Kerbal Space Program runs on the Wii U, and they already leaked that one.
Okay. Alright, cool. And then Zachary Miller is also joining us. Hello, Zachary Miller. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, am I coming through all right?
You are now. Everyone was frozen for a minute.
Okay, hi, Zach.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. Maybe one of the reveals at 1 a.m. will be that release date for freaking Plague Knight.
Sure, we can only hope.
Yeah.
Plague Knight is definitely not coming out tonight. It was submitted a week ago, right?
I don't even know. I've stopped paying attention. I just assume they've all gone bankrupt and that none of the DLC after Plague Knight will come out.
No, I think they're gonna be okay. They'll figure stuff out. They made a game that's as good as Shovel Knight. I think they'll be okay in the long run.
Well, I hope so.
Shovel Knight's the kind of indie game that only comes out once every year or two.
More than that, yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of DLC, I real quick want to open the show with an apology to people who follow me on Twitter. Tyrone Rodriguez of Nicholas fame tweeted yesterday that a Isaac patch for 3DS is finally coming today with the eShop update. I retweeted that and said, thank God. And I'd like to apologize. That update is not live. It's not on the eShop. It's not in the game. It's not there. So I still can't give the game a score. Still don't download it.
Which is crazy to me because for all the problems you're having, that you've played as much as you have. Hours and hours, I'm under the impression even.
It's climbed up to the top of my list, my time list.
For what period of time?
Maybe the top 5. I don't know. I got it right when it came out.
How many hours?
I think we're sitting at 70-something. But you have to understand, I have to reset the system all the time. Can't be good for the hardware.
So you have to reset the system all the time.
It doesn't freeze. It
there you go.
So. Obviously, I like it, but I'd like it to run well.
Is it the worst running best game of all time?
I think that's probably true. Certainly of the year for me.
Worst running game of the year.
Yeah.
Binding of Isaac Rebirth for the Nintendo 3DS. Okay, let's talk top stories. Nintendo released their release calendar for the rest of the year. People were like, there's not going to be a Nintendo Direct. They're still figuring it out. They don't want to do a Nintendo Direct right now. But they do a press release like this every single year where they drop all the release dates at once. And as Donald was pointing out, I think on our very last show, this is something they do every single year on this very week, pretty much. Isn't that right?
Yeah, and usually we get it closer to the end of the week instead of having it come out at 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock Eastern Monday morning. But yeah, usually around this time of year, because they don't really want to announce any new games, they will just send out a press release with everything coming out in the next few months.
Right. And some people were like, oh, this should have been a Nintendo Direct. There was not enough here for a full Nintendo Direct, in my opinion, because if there was, we would show about this press release. What we actually got were about 5 to 7 important release dates, an interesting new Amiibo thing, and then maybe some dates for some other Amiibo. That's what we got. We didn't get new game announcements or jaw-dropping reveals or Lucas and Smash Brothers. We got the release date for Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon. That's what we got from this thing.
Chicken.
What's up, Zach?
Probably do
Nothing.
All right.
Curry though.
All right. It appears we have a special guest on the show this week.
I'm doing curry.
Steak.
Okay.
Really, him? It's gonna be steak like I make it.
Medium.
Welcome Gina Miller to the show this week.
Yes. Yes.
Beware.
All right, well, let's actually talk about release dates. Rumble launches today, Thursday, August 27th. You can read Neil's review for that. Neil is not on the show today, so none of us are that particularly excited about it. Disney Infinity 3.0 releases this Sunday, August 30th. Super Mario Maker releases on 9/11, along with a console bundle that includes Zach. What's going on right now? Is everything okay now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Has been.
Can we continue the show?
Yeah.
All right. Do I need to come over there?
You do that.
That'd be one heck of a trip for you.
I'd like to note that with Runbow, if you got the demo during E3, you get some percentage off the final game.
15% off.
Yep.
15. Okay, that's barely anything, but it's something.
Okay. Mario Maker releases on 9/11 along with a console bundle that includes the Modern Colors Mario Amiibo and the system for $299.96. That Modern Mario Amiibo will probably get released separately, though that has not been announced yet for it.
It better. I mean, that'd be stupid if they did a console bundle exclusive. Good lord.
And with that bundle, Nintendo wins the September MPDs.
Yeah, probably. We'll see how big of a deal Super Mario Maker is. I think it's like Splatoon, where it didn't seem like it was going to be that big of a deal when it was first announced, but it's slowly ramping up and it's slowly building hype. And I bet it's going to be a comfortable success for Nintendo. I think the fact that it's called Super Mario Maker and almost implies there's a certain level of creativity required might end up pushing some people away. But I think this game's going to do pretty well for Nintendo. I don't know if it'll win NPDs for them on the console side, let alone the software side, but it'll do pretty well for it. Oh, yes! Freaking Metal Gear Solid comes out next month. I don't think Super Mario Maker is going to beat that, especially since it's coming out on 5 platforms.
I don't think Mario, here's the thing about Mario Maker. It's going to live or die based on its community involvement.
It's going to have a good community. I am not worried about that.
Is it going to last? Is it going to have a lasting community?
It will last as long as it needs to, which will be at least 6 months for really dedicated people and 12 months for really dedicated people. And for a very small fraction of people still creating levels, I could see it going on another 2 or 3 years after that. Also, you got to consider the fact that as long as they're selling the Wii U, people will keep buying Mario Maker in some amount, no matter how big or small that is. So new players are going to be introduced to it all the time, just not necessarily large numbers once we get to 2016 or 2017.
Yeah.
I think this will be one of the longest supported games that ends up on Wii U. Splatoon might be the most supported.
I'm not getting it. It's not happening for me.
It's one of my many pre-orders in video games happening in September, and I am shocked I am saying that, because this game looked super boring to me when it was first unveiled. But now it's probably my most anticipated game of the year, so we'll see how it turns out. I actually haven't even talked to our reviewer for this game about how it is yet, so I'm completely in the dark about it too. Anyways, we'll see. That's Super Mario Maker. Skylander Superchargers releases on September 20th. Animal Crossing Happy Home Designers on the 25th, along with Amiibo cards. Cards are $5.99 for 6 cards. And NFC Reader launches the same day for old 3DS owners, $19.99. Bundle with the writer, Happy Home Designer, and a card is $49.99. Donald, if I remember correctly, the way this happens in Japan is like $3 or $4 for 3 cards, right?
Right.
Okay, so they're pretty much doubling up.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense to me. Yeah, I'll buy a few of these packs to see what happens. One of my favorite pastimes is opening up trading card packs. So we'll see if they have any rare ones. Right?
Oh, yeah.
The Pokemon World Championships has actually like started to warm me up to the idea of actually seeing like what that whole card game is all about. So we could see if 21-year-old Alex gets into the Pokemon card game again.
I should, not today, but someday I should show you my my binders of Pokemon cards. They're
You still got them. You never lost
quite
them.
spectacular. Oh, I was in the Pokemon card game league when I was a teenager, and I have been collecting ever since one of each Pokemon from the first 10 expansions before the e-reader cards came out. And
Okay.
I almost have them all.
You've almost caught them all
I've almost got them all.
for the low price of $3.99.
I think really I just have a few Gym Leader, whatever those 2 expansions were called, left.
You know what's great is that there are still like super expensive cards in the Pokemon
There
card.
are, good God! I saw a
$50 cards.
I saw a Charizard, a first edition Charizard from the original set for $60 recently.
The thing is, I'm talking about cards that are still coming out. See, the thing that's happening with
Oh,
Yu-Gi-Oh!
newer stuff.
As Yu-Gi-Oh! Becomes like a more niche trading card game, and it's still one of the big 3 or big 4. Like, I think Hearthstone, Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Are still the big 4.
Yeah.
But Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards are substantially coming down in price. Pokemon cards aren't necessarily as aggressively expensive as they used to be, but they're still pretty damn expensive. Anyways, LEGO Dimensions, September 27th, $9.99, base pack and level, team and fun packs respectively at $29.99, $24.99, and $14.99. Chibi Robo Ziplash is October 9th, standalone game is $29.99, Amiibo bundle is $39.99. Yoshi's Woolly World, October 16th, standalone game is $49.99, Amiibo bundle, green Yoshi included, $59.99. Pink and blue Yarn Yoshi Amiibo launched the same day for $16.99. Let me just say, I am probably going to get the blue Yarn Yoshi. I might not get Yoshi's Woolly World for another 12 months.
I might get all the Yoshis, except that giant $60 Yoshi.
That's only $60 in Canada. It's $40 for you guys.
It's $40 in the United States, and it's not even that big. It's not even that big.
I'll just get the one that's bundled with the game, so I'll get a green and like it.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
cute.
everyone needs one Yarn Yoshi. I guess it's up to you to decide what color suits your needs.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? The Duck Hunt Dog Amiibo, like that retro pack, still available like to pre-order in store physically.
You're kidding me.
I went into the busiest GameStop in Boston, or what I'm pretty sure is the busiest GameStop in Boston, right in the heart of downtown. Went in there, and like, since I pre-ordered it online and it was like $40 with shipping, I wanted to see if I could get it in store, save $3 or $4. I was like, you got any of them in stock? And they're like, yeah, we totally do. So I put down
Holy cow.
$5 and canceled the online order. So,
Huh.
yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Wow.
New Super Mario U and New Super Luigi U from older Wii U bundles will release on October 16th for $59.99. Fatal Frame, Maiden of Black Water will be an eShop exclusive October 22nd. The download will be free and will cover the prologue first and most of the second chapter as like a free-ish demo of the total 14-chapter game. The full download will be $49.99 eShop only, which is a great way to release this game because I really want to try it, but I don't know if I want to buy Fatal Frame.
It's just such a weird thing. It's like of all the games they're doing this for, they're doing it for Fatal freaking Frame. I mean, and I was saying on Twitter, Devil's Third is getting a retail release. They don't even want to release that game.
That's a contractual obligation release.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
All
Like
right.
that. We'll come to it later, but yeah, it's very.
Wait,
Okay.
that's represented in the PR, right? Oh wait, yes it does. Yes it does. Well, so Donald, you'll tell me more about that in a minute.
Yeah.
Guitar Hero Live and Just Dance 2016, October 20th. Triforce Heroes launches on October 23rd. Force Amiibo 3-pack will release on November 1st, $34.99. I think this will be the first abundantly available 3-pack.
Yes.
Does anyone care about the Mii Fighters?
I
No.
don't. Especially since they're not custom and you can't like buy little like Lego-ish toys to put on their head and stuff.
Yeah, that would be cool. Like they're kind of doing that for Mr. Game & Watch. He has 3 or 4 different versions of himself.
If
But
they did,
not.
yeah, if they did that for like Bowser Jr., you could put the Koopa wings on. I do that just to have Wendy.
Nice.
Your coupe of choice is Wendy.
Yeah.
I'm more of a Ludwig kind of guy. What about you, Zach?
I like the Roy and the guy who looks like Roy.
All right,
Big
all right.
bruiser guys.
Respect. Yokai Watch launches on November 6th. That game, we'll see. The Mewtwo Amiibo will release on November 13th.
Yes.
I bet that'll be easy to pre-order. Following the suit of the retro, I think like Nintendo and GameStop probably got a system worked out now. I'm gonna end up getting the Mewtwo Amiibo bundle.
Is it a... Wait, what? Is Mewtwo
No. Sorry. It's just releasing by itself. I was thinking of the retro bundle. I accidentally said Mewtwo bundle.
But is it a GameStop exclusive?
No, I also said made that.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's releasing everywhere.
Well, traditionally, Pokemon have been a Toys R Us exclusive, but we don't know how they're doing the DLC characters.
Well, Charizard was big enough to do it on its own, and I think they're going to treat Mewtwo like Charizard, where it'll be like a slightly uncommon one at first, then it'll be very common.
Yeah, hopefully.
November 15th, Mega Yarn Yoshi, which we talked about. Yarn Yoshi Amiibo, approximately 3 times the size of a normal Amiibo, but with the same functionality. It'll release for $39.99. I want to tell you what the size of 3 Amiibo look like. That's like... This is 3 Amiibo next to each other.
So that's about... Each one's about as tall as Martin Short.
However, we could also do it this way if that's more realistic.
Okay, that's more Chevy Chase.
A little more Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
Maybe Kevin Spacey. Yeah.
Well, you don't get my joke. Ah.
No, I thought we were talking about like slightly
3
short
Amiibos.
actors.
3 Amigos.
Oh, never mind. I thought we were doing a height thing. I'm too much of a baby, Zach. I'm sorry. Anyways, well, this is 3 Amiibo stacked. Maybe that's big enough. Probably not for $39.99.
No.
There you go. November 20th, Star Fox Zero, the Falco Amiibo, and Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon come out. And Donald, you were straight on the money with that one. Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon. So, congratulations.
I forgot that they hadn't released Falco yet.
Yep. Xenoblade Chronicles X, December 4th. Still no announcement for the Collector's Edition properly, but there is going to be a Xenoblade panel this weekend. We'll see if that gets announced there.
Yeah.
Because that's the right place for a minor announcement.
You know what game has not gotten a Western release announcement yet?
What?
The best puzzle game potentially on the 3DS.
That's going to get announced in the November Nintendo Direct or the February Nintendo Direct.
Good.
Like, there's no way that's not like... That's one of those, like, oh, that's a pleasant surprise Nintendo Direct announcements. Like the Chibi Robo game. It's going to be treated on that scale, and probably rightfully so.
You're probably right, yeah.
Xenoblade Chronicles X, December 4th, and Devil's Third launches December 11th. Never forget. This launches Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival and Mario Tennis Ultra Smash without solid dates. We will talk about that more in a second. Tell me about Devil's Third, Donald.
It sucks, and Nintendo is trying to bury their responsibility for releasing this game, which they apparently took from Xseed, by releasing it after Xenoblade at the point that really nobody's going to be paying attention to new game releases.
Yeah. Did you?
How many people are going to buy and play Devil's Third just to hate play it? Because so many of my followers on Twitter are like, I know it sucks. I'm going to play the hell out of it.
Well, Zach.
Yeah, you. All right.
Well, no. Zach, I want you to know.
No way.
No? I didn't know what this was.
No, I'm thinking James Jones and
Oh.
my NFR colleague, Brood Wars. That's
There's
it.
a few others on my followers.
Devils understand how many copies the Wonderful 101 sold, which is
Now
considered
have
by
that.
some of its players one of the greatest platinum games and one of the best games of all time.
Yes,
This
that
will
person
sell-
is going to buy Devil's Third.
Tyler Olu will buy Devil's Third.
Yes. And he will like it.
However, think of the little appeal the Wonderful 101 had to a large audience, selling 100,000 units. Granted, it came out within 2 days of Grand Theft Auto 5, one of the biggest games of all time by this point. But that's what a niche Nintendo title with appeal can do on the Wii U.
Mm.
Devil's Third is getting buried on December 11th. Never forget. And and then no one wants it. It's not going to be good. It isn't good. We already know it isn't good. None of us have played it. No.
I've edited Don's review of the game. It's not good.
What score do you give it?
3.5.
3.5? Okay.
And I think he was being generous.
And you said something about a contractual obligation?
I know that Nintendo did say at some point that this game was going to come out physically, and then when they got pressured or whatever into picking up the game, they decided, you know what, we're going to bury this, and the only good part, the multiplayer, is going to come out free on PC before this game comes out at retail.
Right.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Mario Tennis Ultra Smash does not have a solid release date yet. Do we think that will get delayed? Because I think it's going to get delayed. Actually, it has a release date in Europe, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's November 20th, same day as Star Fox.
So we'll see if it gets delayed. I'm just surprised it doesn't have a date yet.
I wonder how well those games do.
Probably good enough to keep making them every couple of years.
Yeah.
And apparently there was some alleged PR that went around about Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival coming out on the 13th of November with its own Amiibo 3-pack. There's way too much smoke there to not be a fire.
Okay, let's talk about that now. Nintendo Inquirer seems to be the only outlet who got a hold of this press release. Did you see any other people reporting this full press release? Because I did not.
I didn't either.
Okay, they're saying November 13th, Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival's coming out, which is weird because on the official press release released that morning, it was just given a vague holiday date. And it said $59.99, includes Isabelle and Digby and 3 Amiibo cards, though we already knew that was going to be the pack from E3. We just didn't know what the official cost was. They also said that the other Amiibo, Tom Nook, Mabel, Lottie, KK Slider, Reese, and Cyrus are going to be happening. We also knew that from E3. First 3, Tom Nook, Mabel, and Lottie will be available. Mabel is one of the Hedgehogs ladies. Lottie's the new character from Happy Home Designer. While KK Slider, Reese, and Cyrus will be sold separately, similar to how will be sold as a bundle, similar to how the Retro Amiibo 3-pack is. So the 2 alpaca, is that the right word for it?
Sure.
Okay, the alpaca llama-type animals that were running the flea shop in New Leaf, it's those 2, and KK Slider are going to be $34.99, and that's the only way they're being sold. You have to buy them all at once. And I would say this would be a rumor, but they have a pack shot of this that looks 100% accurate.
So I assume you're going to buy this 3-pack and then toss the alpacas.
No.
But you're buying it for KK.
I want KK Slider very bad. I will say that openly. I want the dog with a guitar in my life. However, I'm already dropping $34.99 on the Amiibo 3-pack with the retro one, and I'm 2. I'm spending like $200 on games in September just because all of them are coming out in September this year. I'm probably going to be spending another $100 to $150 on games for the rest of the holiday. I can't justify doing this for a piece of plastic. It's a piece of plastic
No.
I really want. It's probably going to be one of the most well-built Amiibo, but I can't justify that if this ends up being true and this ends up being the way it ends up going. That's too awful. Like, I almost don't want to believe Nintendo would do that, because that's such a bad deal.
Dick
Now,
move, man.
if it was Tom Nook, KK Slider, and one of the crappy characters, that would be fine, because I want both of those really bad, and I would pay $17 for each of them and deal with having one awful Animal Crossing character. But just having one really good one and then packaging the two worst, it's a dick move from Nintendo.
Well, you'll probably be able to go to PAX East and buy them individually for like $80 a pop.
No, what's going to happen is we got, actually go ahead, Donald.
I was going to say, just import them from Europe.
Yep, because
There you go.
We know people in Europe and in Australia, the land where the Amiibo flow like water.
Yeah, they do.
And I'm going to be able to get probably an individually packaged KK Slider there for $18 shipped.
I have Nicholas and Andrew both on standby in case I can't find ZSS.
Well, I didn't want to say their names, Zach, but okay. You know, whatever. Shout out to Nick and Andrew. There you go. There were rumors that this was going to be a free eShop download, but my guess with this is that Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, the board game mode will be stripped and put as a free download, but we also know there will be at least a few other modes in Amiibo Festival, other than this board game mode. So I bet there's going to be a full disc version that features Amiibo Festival and some other collections around it, like some other game modes, and they're going to strip this one mode out and let that be free with the condition that you have to put Amiibo on it. That's my guess.
Yeah, I mean, even they could probably get away with charging $20 for it. I mean, Disney Infinity 3.0 is on eShop on Sunday for $20, but you got to buy $100 worth of figures to make it playable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. All right, moving on to new releases. Capcom sale this week that is happening 3 straight now. An incredible deal. I'm actually going to read off all of them, but there's only a few. Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, $13.59. Resident Evil Revelations, $13.59. DuckTales Remastered. These are all on Wii U, by the way. $5.99. And Dungeons and Dragons Chronicles of Mystara, $4.99. On 3DS, Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, $29.99. That's an amazing deal. They're worth the price of the game, but I can't blame you for waiting for $20. Phoenix Wright Trilogy, $22.50. Phoenix Wright Dual Destinies, $17, $16.79, whatever. Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate 3DS, $13.59. Revelations is $7.99. Get that game. Get that game on 3DS. That's a fun new 3DS game to have.
It's better on 3DS.
Super Street Fighter 4 3D, $6.79 down from $20.
Not worth it.
It's not that good?
Nope.
Okay, and then Mercenaries 3D is $6.79.
Worth it.
I think it's worth it from what I played back when I played it in 2011.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's still worth it in the context of 2015 3DS.
It is. It absolutely is.
You've picked it up again?
Yeah, it's real fun. Especially if you can play with a friend.
Okay.
I actually own every game in this sale. And I should say, yeah, Revelations worth it on 3DS just because it's stupidly cheap. But the Wii U version, it probably controls better, unless you have a Circle Pad Pro, really.
Yeah, or a new 3DS. And I'll say that this might be dumb, but the main reason I like the 3DS version more is the final boss is a much cheaper bastard on Wii U. When they were developing it on Wii U, they must have thought, how could we make this guy harder and more frustrating? Oh, let's give him a 2-second window where he's vulnerable. So you better get that right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And the other new releases this week, Sin and Punishment comes to the N64 Virtual Console on Wii U. You can do the $2 upgrade on that, but I think that's like $10 otherwise.
$12 actually. It's
$12, which, oh yeah, the import tax. And then Star Successor, the Wii game, is on the Wii U Virtual Console. The Wii game on Virtual Console for $20. I'm pretty sure you can get a physical copy of that game for $7 at GameStop.
Yeah, pretty much.
But you know what? I hear that's a great game.
I've heard people that I trust say that it's the best shooter ever made.
Okay, there you go. Donald Terrio says the best shooter ever made. Moving on to news, Minecraft Story Mode will be coming to Wii U. Telltale has announced that Minecraft Story Mode will launch on Wii U. Upcoming episodic adventure series. I'm pretty sure that actually might be the only part of the story, other than that it is expected to launch on Wii U this year. And then Telltale Walking Dead Season 1 and 2 have been rumored.
Yeah. Episode 1 of this will probably come out this year. The rest of it will probably be 2016.
Yep, that's how Telltale does it. They release the first episode in December, and then
I look forward to seeing how much of a train wreck this is.
How it runs?
Well, Telltale games run bad enough on the on other consoles. I can't imagine what they'd be doing with their first game on a new system. I should also mention that Zach just lost power.
Okay. How do we... well, Zach's not here anymore.
Yeah.
You know what's awful, also terrible, is that I have 7% battery on my laptop left, so there will be a point where it's just you fending for yourself for about 30 seconds.
Goody.
Okay. Also, this game does not exist. The Minecraft game is not on Wii U or 3DS yet, but the Minecraft Story Mode, presumably without any building elements, will be coming to Wii U.
Maybe it's a trial balloon. Who knows? But it's Minecraft. I know several people that I told about this game. They're going to be buying it. I warned them about Telltale's history. They're still going to buy it.
Okay. All right, there you go. Minecraft Story Mode will be coming on Wii U. All right. My Mac says low battery. Donald, can we take a 20-second intermission while I plug this in?
Go right ahead.
Do you have anything interesting to tell people about? Actually, you know what? Just plug your own podcast for 20 seconds. I'll be right back.
Yeah, so of course, I am the host of Nintendo Free Radio. It's at bit.ly/NF Radio Podcast. We will have a bunch of episodes going up here because some things got in the way with our last episode, which is actually our Satoru Iwata tribute show. That we'll make sure that we have another episode out probably by the end of the weekend, and we'll be recording again this Sunday.
All right, there you go. I knew we had to talk about your show eventually. Glad we could do it when no one else on the show was there. All right.
You left it open.
There you go. No, you know what? That's exactly what we wanted to do. 20 seconds. Donald, you got to plug your show. Everyone's happy, except the listeners, maybe.
And Zach, who's trying to find a candle right now.
Okay. All right. Pokemon. Okay, some Pokemon stuff happened this week. I originally wasn't going to talk about this because these were stories that I came up with, but there wasn't that much news this week otherwise, and Donald and I are the right people to talk about this, so we're going to talk about it. I interviewed J.C. Smith, who is the consumer marketing director for the Pokemon Company International at PAX East this past weekend. No, not PAX East, the Pokemon World Championships 2015. I'm a mess today. We got a couple of stories out of that. There's like 3 or 4 stories on the site. We're going to be posting the full interview on Monday. We talk about what it's like to market a Pokemon game, but all the newsworthy stuff is already up on the site in the form of news stories. There might be another tidbit or two, but we got the big stuff. And then there's 2 things we'll be talking about. The first is that the Pokemon Director of Consumer Marketing, J.C. Smith, told me at the end of the interview, the last question I asked him was on the future of Pokemon, can you just throw some cryptic word out there that'll get me to scratch my head and will get me to, like, 8 months from now, I'll go, oh, that's what he was talking about. Just some cryptic tease from the future. Doesn't have to mean anything. Well, it does have to mean something, but it can just be one word. And the word he gave me which was after a very long pause, I might ask. So he thought about it long and hard, was flowers. And the only thing that comes to mind with him saying flowers as a tease for the future of Pokemon is Az's Floette, which is the Eternal Flower Floette, which, it's the Eternal Flower Floette, which was probably one of the most crucial plot points in Pokemon X and Y. It's a special form of this Pokemon that has its own exclusive move and has its own exclusive look. It's like this Floette Pokemon, but it lives forever. We know it exists on the game code, so it is possible for them to release it through an event, but they haven't done it yet. That's what I think it is. Some people think it's Pokemon Z, and that this is a tease for what the story in Pokemon Z might include.
Right, because they've got to include that in the alternate form of Zygarde. And apparently this Floette is like uber powerful, and it comes with its own exclusive move, so it's probably going to get a good size push.
Right, and for all we know, it could be included on the data of X and Y for the sake of compatibility reasons. Like, they could do an event in X and Y, but it could also be included in whatever Z is.
Yeah, or even, I wonder if they bothered to include it in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, because I never heard about it after that.
Yeah, I heard it was on the data for X and Y, but I tried looking for it and seeing if it was on Omega. I couldn't find an answer. So, we'll see what that means. This story did very well for us on the site. I think it was shared like nearly 200 times on Twitter, and then I think it got a lot of bumps on Facebook too, which makes me very excited. I'm very happy that we're all excited about Pokemon. I do have that itch now that something is going to get announced soon. And it's the same as the Nintendo Direct itch for all we know. For maybe nothing could happen, but there was also a story that went up today that doesn't say much of anything, but it makes me think that in the next 3 weeks when Koro reveals whatever that green blob thing was at the end of the Hoopa movie, that they're gonna release some trailer. The Pokemon Company International is gonna send an English press release saying this is Zygarde and Zygarde Jr. and this is their new form.
Because as you said in that piece, we still have that magic date of February.
Yeah, I literally thought of you when I told that to him, because it's not every day you get to sit in the same room as a director of with a director of consumer marketing for Pokemon. So I just wanted him to know, hey, it'd be really cool if something big came out. You know what? Me saying that has no difference on whether something comes out, but I'm so happy that I got to tell him that.
Yeah.
That's what we expect.
That's certainly what I'm hoping for, because I had a feature this week on the site about upcoming 3DS RPGs for next year, and it did kind of hurt to have to move the next Pokemon game from the confirmed section to the maybe section, but we know it's coming.
Right, we know some next versions coming. It hasn't been officially announced, but there's definitely something coming. Yeah, that was my favorite part of that interview, because the story that came up today where he responds to Pokemon Z rumors and Pokemon 20th anniversary rumors, I just put that up because we're not putting the interview up for another few days, and I wanted everyone to know that I asked him these questions, and this is what he said. I just wanted to know that I could tell someone that someone with a marketing plan for Pokemon, I can tell them this is what I want and what I expect, which is a very selfish thing to do as an interviewer. But I think I pulled it off okay. The other story was we were talking about the Pokemon Company's 20th and their plans for the 20th anniversary of Pokemon in 2016. We asked about Pokken Tournament. Excuse me. And I asked them if Pokken Tournament is going to be their main plan for the early part of the 2016 anniversary. I asked them that specifically because Pokken Tournament is coming out next spring, and there is a chance that because it's their early part of the year, maybe they could shimmy that into being really important. Maybe they could say, hey, we're starting off the year with a bang. Pokken Tournament's coming out. Hey, they send out a tweet on February 27th. Happy birthday, Pokemon, and then Pokemon Z comes out in November. So I was very careful to ask them if Pokken Tournament was their main plan for the early part of the 2016 anniversary, and I looked at the Audacity thing, because I recorded this in Audacity on my laptop, and I looked at the actual timing on it. It took him maybe a quarter of a second to just say no outright. And you heard him say it, Donald.
Yeah.
He said no immediately. Don't you think there's something other than Pokken Tournament releasing early next year?
There has to be at this point. Although, for all we know, it's something in their mobile initiative because, Pokemon Shuffle Mobile came out this week. But I don't think it's big enough to waste the 20th anniversary of the series, especially given how nuts the internet goes for anniversaries nowadays.
Right, and it's worth noting that I did try to press him on it harder because, I was immediately surprised at how quickly he said no. So I was like, so you don't have anything, huh? So you have something else, huh? And then he's like, I'm just splitting hairs. It's going to be a big year for Pokemon. Going to be a great Pokemon year. But he said no too quickly for them to not have some ace up their sleeve.
Yeah.
After talking to him, I'm convinced that they do have a mainline game plan for next year.
Yeah.
Also, as a tease for that interview for the 500 people who are going to end up watching this show, we do have one other tidbit that we're not going to put in a news story. I made the decision tonight. We're saving that just for the interview. But I did ask him about Pokemon on Virtual Console. And then we got some kind of answer that's weird and disappointing, but also kind of a non-answer. And we'll let you guys see that when the interview comes out on Monday. We'll see what you guys have to say about it. Maybe it's coming, maybe it's not, but look forward to that. That's something just for you guys. Anyways, that's Pokemon. I'm glad people like those stories. Both of those did very well for us, and it caused a lot of discussion. And who knows? Maybe we'll have some announcements in the next few weeks.
Hopefully hopefully by the 3 shows from now, we'll be able to say, hey, the new Pokemon game's coming out.
Right, absolutely. There was also some rumor I saw on VP, which is the 4chan Pokemon board today, where it was talking about the Green Blob. And Donald, you know about the Green Blob, I know about the Green Blob, but just to specify, the Green Blob in Pokemon was, so at the end of every Pokemon movie when it's released in Japan, it ends with a teaser for the following year's Pokemon movie. They do it on an annual cycle. When one Pokemon movie ends, they release a trailer for next year's movie. And the end of this year's trailer showed a teaser for a shadow for something that is clearly a new Zygarde form. There's no way it isn't. And it also showed off this green blob, you can look it up, which does not look anything like a Pokemon we've seen before. And the rumors are, or not the rumor, but the speculation, and what I think it is not Zygarde and not a new Pokemon, but just a node of Zygarde. He has smaller mini bits that do his cameras almost. Donald, you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, sort of like a Zygarde Zygote.
Exactly. But there's this rumor that it's based on this death beetle called the Death, which is apparently only found in the UK, and that Masuda's in London this week, which I'm pretty sure is the case. I'm almost 100% positive this is the case. And Death Beetle, UK, the Beatles. Some people are trying to shimmy this into this being the first revealed Pokemon for the new generation. I think it's too simple of a Pokemon to actually be a brand new monster and not just be a small part of something larger. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't let myself get hyped for new Pokemon until the generation gets announced. So
Okay.
I'm more concerned with getting through Gen 6 before I start worrying about what's going to come on the next handheld. Okay,
cool. And last but not least, let's talk about the Shovel Knight Amiibo business.
That is available for pre-order right now from Game.
So it really exists. That wasn't just some fake tweet.
That exists.
You can pre-order it on Game right now for €14.99 bucks.
£14.99.
£14 99, and is that a Game exclusive?
I've seen it on multiple retailers, although most of them have been in different countries from the UK, like Germany and Spain. So it is entirely possible that it could be game exclusive in the UK, but we don't know for sure.
Okay, but it has not been officially announced for America as of this moment, even though it definitely will.
Right, and that's one of the things we're expecting to come out of this pre-PAX Nindies at Night party that's happening in the next hour and a bit.
Yeah, so originally there were rumors that Shovel Knight was going to come to Super Smash Bros. Because the Shovel Knight Amiibo leaked beforehand. What's your thing say, Donald? Talk.
It was basically the original rumor came out from Nintendo Life, who worked with one of the guys from N64, to basically say that Shovel Knight is coming to Smash Bros. As a DLC character. The week before, or last week, there was a leak from a Spanish website saying that there was going to be a Shovel Knight Amiibo. And now we've got the confirmation of the Shovel Knight Amiibo, but it's in a Shovel Knight series. So it's not known if this is filler box art or if that's what they're actually going to go with for this line of Nindy Amiibo.
So the official line, since I think that deleted tweet we saw earlier today must be 100% true. It's part of a Shovel Knight series that will work with future releases from Yacht Club Games. And probably other Nintendo stuff, though we haven't seen anything on that yet.
Right. So it'll work for things like Hyrule Warriors, which you can get like roofies and stuff.
It's like a random item generator.
Right. And it might be one of the skins in Mario Maker. We don't know for sure.
Sure. Okay. But that's it really. There's no way Shovel Knight was ever going to come to Smash Bros. That makes no sense to me.
I could see it if Nintendo was publishing Shovel Knight in Japan because it hasn't come out there yet, and it may be something that they want to give a big push to because they are really getting behind this game now.
So
because Damon Baker is going to be speaking in about an hour and a half from now, and when he does, he's going to have some big announcements to make because we know there's going to be, I think, 6 indie games announced. One of them already leaked in the former Kerbal Space Program, but there's still 5 more games we don't know about. And they also probably have some announcements as pertains to Shovel Knight, like probably the Nintendo release date for the Plague of Shadows DLC, and maybe a Smash reveal.
We know, and I could be wrong in an hour from this going up. I could be wrong in literally 1 hour, Donald. However, we know that during Smash Bros. Development, it takes a full year from the inception of a character to the finish of a character. Though there are many, many characters being developed at once, so maybe it's a slightly shorter period of time during DLC periods like this where there's not a full game in development, presumably. However, we know it takes a very long time to make a Smash Bros. Character, especially compared to many other fighting games or party fighting games like this one.
Right.
I don't think Shovel Knight is worth it. And I think Shovel Knight is an excellent, excellent game, one of the best indie games in the last couple of years. Hands down, probably the best indie game since the original Hotline Miami, I would say. I would say it's the best one since that. And probably the best one since then, too. But I think financially, spending that many resources on Shovel Knight when you could be spending it on a more important third-party character or a more important Nintendo character doesn't make sense from a business decision. I don't think Sakurai cares that much about Shovel Knight because I feel like I can't see him caring that much about it. And maybe that's just me making it up. Maybe we're going to see a video from him in an hour that says, I really care about Shovel Knight in Japanese. Probably not with this exact voice. But I don't think there's any world where Shovel Knight becomes a Smash Bros. Character. And I could eat my words 1 hour from now, but I don't think Shovel Knight is coming to Smash Bros. Ever.
I'm not saying it's like a lead pipe cinch or anything. I'm just saying there is a chance, especially if he was high enough in the ballot that it brought the character to Sakurai's attention, if Sakurai looked into it and said, you know what, we need to get this guy in here, then he's going to be in there because Sakurai has that level of control.
Yes. However, there are two other things that sort of draw me away from that. Earlier this week, there was some Yacht Club Games blog post where it came out that that they had 1 megaton this week, in addition to talking about Plague Knight. And that there's no way that one isn't the Amiibo, because the enormous megaton by any independent game developer standards. I don't think they would just leave us 100% in the dark on Smash Bros. Like, I feel like there would be 2 megatons. Who knows? The other thing is, on Twitter, they made it sound like they were pushing really hard for the Smash Bros. Ballot up until very recently, at least. And I don't think they would be doing that, taking actual away from other characters, if they knew Shovel Knight was already a lock.
Well, if they slowed down, maybe they got the all clear from Nintendo to say, yeah, he's in. And if they have 1 megaton, the megaton announcement might be Shovel Knight's in Smash, and because of that, he gets an Amiibo.
This is not in the Smash Bros. Series, though.
But that could be filler box art to keep the surprise happy. Again, we'll find out in an hour, probably.
The surprise hiding box art, which we'll find out in an hour. We'll talk about it next week. This isn't the kind of thing we'll talk about tomorrow unless there's anything super huge. We'll talk about it in a week. Shovel Knight Amiibo. Do you want that, Donald?
Yeah, I want it.
Okay.
So that makes at least 3 DLC Amiibo and then 4 between Lucas, Ryu, and now Shovel Knight.
You're not in on Mewtwo.
I'm still going back and forth on Mewtwo because depending on how they handle his release, it may be a situation of I have to consider taking a day off work to go get him, or at least a couple of hours.
Okay. Understood. That's Nintendo News Report for this week. Thank you so much for joining us. Once Zach left I knew there was no way he was coming back, regardless of whether his power went back on. Because Zach has guests to entertain around now. Anyways, that's our show. I'm Alex Kulafi. Donald Terrio is with me. He's on Twitter at DonaldMick, at DonaldMick, as well as Nintendo Free Radio Podcast, which we told you about just a little while ago. That is NFR Podcast. I'm Alex Kulafi, at CULAFIA. Zachary Miller, who you heard a little while ago, is at ZMILLER 1901 or
1902.
Z Miller 1902. This Monday we have our full interview with JC Smith going up, including the Pokemon VC question I asked him about earlier. You can look forward to that on Monday. I interviewed a Pokemon World Champion over that weekend. That's going to go up mid-next week because I have to transcribe it. It's like a 25-minute interview. It's going to take a long time for me, but that'll go up at some point. That's going to be good. I also have an article rounding up my experience with the Pokemon World Championships going up very, very soon. Well, probably Monday along with that. Maybe that'll be a Tuesday thing. I talk about the whole weekend. I talk about everything that happened. I talk about the vibe from the event. I'll try to make it a fun article. If anyone's read my first E3. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you're going to mention the incident that happened in the championships.
Yeah, so that happened on Thursday. I leave a little line in there saying, hey, big props to the Boston police for being fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It's because, you know what? There are some problems with some police officers in some parts of the country today. What happened was the police working exactly the way they're supposed to, doing an excellent job protecting the fine citizens of Boston as well as the world. So I just said, hey, Boston police for being excellent. I mentioned it just a little bit. I did not have any interactions or know anything about it beforehand. However, you just reminded me of something super crazy that happened in my interview with JC Smith that I didn't realize until I transcribed it. Donald, do you remember which state the two guys are from?
They're from, I think it was Iowa.
It was Iowa. And I want to read you a selection of the interview that is exclusive to this episode of Nintendo News Report. I didn't think about finding it until now, so you guys are going to have to wait for it for a second, but this is actually, like, kind of crazy. Iowa search. Okay. They talk about the community. And it's like there was just a little slip where I think he knew what had happened by the time I interviewed him. So I interviewed him on Saturday. The event happened on Thursday. I interviewed him on Saturday, and no one found out until Sunday.
Right. It basically broke right around the time of the Masters World Championship match.
Pretty much right after it ended, actually, if I remember correctly. Anyways, I asked him what his favorite thing about Pokemon was, and he said the community, hands down. It's a great group of people, really fun group of people. They come to this event. It's the World Championships, and people are still smiling and laughing. Stress doesn't take over. It doesn't make them into something they aren't. They're having fun. They're just playing a game they love, and I think that's awesome. And then they take it back, and they're doing this year-round. I see it at Worlds and Nationals. I don't see it in Iowa. I don't see it in New York because I don't live there. But you know it's happening there too because we wouldn't have the same vibe everywhere if we didn't go. It's very cool. They're saying he doesn't have experience at these small local places because he doesn't live there, but he knows that this love of Pokemon is going on all over the world year long. And I bet he had a little Freudian slip right there.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna mention it in the final interview. I'm not gonna do a little cute italics of it. But I did just, you did remind me of that, and I was like, hey, I think the director of consumer marketing knew something I didn't. So there you go. I think I accidentally got a leak of the not shooting story a little early, and I didn't even know it. Anyways, big ups to the Boston Police. We have a lot of good stuff going up next week. Like I said, big article going down all the stuff that happened at the World Championships that I did. It was pretty fun. I didn't bring my DS, and I didn't know how to play the trading card game, so it was mostly just me exploring and talking to people. But it was still a good weekend, probably going to be a good read. Look forward to that. Donald, what do you have coming up?
Tomorrow, actually, we're starting a new feature on the site dealing with games 1 year later. So I've got a good-sized article exploring what happened with Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney.
So what the reaction to that is 12 months later?
Yeah, the reaction, sort of my brief thoughts about the game. So that'll be going up tomorrow, and probably be up early in the morning.
Excellent. And then you're gonna have some kind of article relatively soon about a game that might not be on Nintendo systems, right?
Yeah, we'll say that.
We'll say that. Okay. It's the kind of game Donald would want to play. We have friends at certain. It'll be a good time. It'll be a good time. Okay, that's our show for this week. Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.